Welcome back to Arcane Answers. I'm your host, Lare, and joined with me today, as always, are the Doomsayers themselves, Amanda and Sara. How you ladies doing today?
Doom.
See? I told you.
Doing well. How are you?
Good. Thanks for asking. Today, we are going to be jumping into the end of the world. That's
The end
right.
is nigh.
And it may already be past.
Listen, it's happened a couple of times already.
It's a
Yeah.
pretty terrible timeline, so whenever is fine.
Yeah.
Mine happened in 2012. So it's been a few years since we entered a alternate timeline, and I of course I'm talking about the Mayan calendar today. I can't wait to hear what you guys brought, but this one's a big one. This was
Yeah.
big.
I was a little busy in 2012, so I don't remember that being a thing, but, you know.
I do. I remember sitting in my office on December 21st thinking, what if it what what if what if it's real? What if my last day on earth is staring out this terrible window over a terrible view? And
Yeah.
and, uh, and this is it. I'm not at home with my family. I'm at work,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's the worst place to go.
and Nibiru, Planet X, comes into focus. Did you know that's part of it?
No. I was a new
Yeah.
mom. I was running on 2 hours of sleep a night for about 2 years, so I don't even
Yeah.
remember 2012 to, like, 2014, so
I am gonna get into it, though. So back in 2012, unlike any other calendar that we ends and we were just like, "Yeah, that was a year, we're done." The Mayan calendar predicted for quite a while. It said, you know, uh, I can take it for this many days for this many years, right? So the Baktun, that B apostrophe A K apostrophe Tun, pronounce that how you will,
yeah,
lasted
sounded
for
good to me.
394 solar years. And people were like, what happens when it ends? Instead of like just turning off the page and going to the next year,
Yeah.
you know, the Mayans are around to make a new one. So we were like, that's it. That's the end of the world.
They knew more than we did,
Yeah. They had astronauts.
obviously.
Please look into some of the stuff I'm saying. Everything I'm saying has a conspiracy around it.
Cool, I'm gonna start taking notes so I can look it up later.
Yeah, Mayan astronauts, look it up. It's fun. But um what did happen was a bunch of weirdness. So there was a harmonic convergence, which is when all the planets align during that year. It was on the solstice when that happened. And some weirdo named Zachariah Sitchins, I think it is, predicted that a phantom planet known as Nibiru or Planet X would come in to the world as well. There'd be solar storms and geomagnetic reversals. So the poles were supposed to shift. It's bananas, everything that people believed during this time. And again, I kind of bought in the hype a little bit because I'm a weirdo.
Fair enough.
But one of my favorite things about this is that uh, nothing happened. Nothing happened at all except we turned on the Large Hadron Collider.
That's right.
And people believe that that's when the world divided into multiple universes converging together, and we get what we now know as the Mandela Effect, which I think we touched on in another episode.
Yes.
Yes.
And so we may be living in multiple timelines all at once, where C3PO had two golden legs, but now has one silver one. That's
Dun,
right.
dun, dun.
Major changes to children's literature.
It kind of reminds me of in, Good Omens when they're talking about the clover leaf in London and how it's just
Mhm.
designed to, like, bring low-grade evil to the world. I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like
in the
that's
shape of a pentagram.
yeah, I feel like that's what's happened. It's like it's not horrific, it's not earth-shattering, but it's one of those things that just makes things slightly less delightful.
Yeah, and I think that I feel it sometimes, and I know that it's, like, confirmation bias and, like, maybe some Bader-Meinhof stuff going on, but, like, it is, um, pretty weird to think about, like, that there may be other universes and that, like, they're so similar to our own with minor changes that you can't prove it, like the cornucopia in the Fruit of the Loom logo being gone.
That existed.
Did
I
it?
remember I remember the cornucopia on Fruit of the Loom stuff.
Yeah,
Yep.
because I remember that's the only cornucopia I ever saw, and I asked my mother. So I
Yes.
think some of it is a psychological experiment to see what we're willing to rewrite if they tell us we're wrong.
But that's when the world ended, 2012, and that's why we have these memories of tricks being spelt weird, Fruit Loops, and the Looney Tunes all having different spellings, and if that's the most inconvenience that it's caused to us, then it's not that bad.
Right.
Yeah, which
Listen,
is
I hope that other timeline us's are doing really, really well in life.
They might be, but if I'm to gather the information, it seemed pretty banal. Like we were doing the same thing, so much so that we didn't notice when the universes collided, and that there's only little changes.
man, that's so disappointing. I'm disappointed in my multiverse selves.
Yeah,
I
do
know,
better.
like I expected one of you to be a superhero or a cockroach or something, but
Get some little Kafka.
yeah,
Listen,
Gregor Samsa, is that you? You look so different.
I have a secret, guys. I actually am a superhero in my spare time. I didn't want you to find out like this, though.
Oh,
Oh, so you're from a world of superheroes like
I
Top
am.
Gun.
I am.
That's a deep cut for some nerds out there.
Oh, I suppose
Alright, well,
sometimes
that's all I actually have. I mean, I could deep dive into it a little bit more, but there's so much. Like, I'm not going to get into the mechanics of the Mayan calendar. It is bananas, but you really should look into it. There's, like, a 260-day sacred ceremonial calendar component, which, again, is not something I'm going to pronounce. Um the 365 solar calendar, and then the one that I mentioned, which is the Bacton 394 solar year one, all kind of in this wheel. And I don't fully understand it. I imagine that I'm one of the people who would have their hearts ripped out on the ziggurat because the priest is like, no, no, the calendar makes sense. I'm like, I don't get it. And they're like, come up here with us.
But come up, we'll explain it a little more for you.
got something to show you.
What's the obsidian knife for? Oh, it's part of the calendar.
It's part of the explanation, don't worry. Just stand right here.
I think you lay down. It sounds even nicer. Like,
It
just
does
lay
sound
here.
nice. Yeah, I'm gonna take a little nap ski.
It's like, oh, is this a massage? Oh, fun. What a view.
Oh no, we got morbid.
That's what we do.
Is that
Goodness.
right? I
What?
don't know. Sometimes I can't tell if my humor is dark or it's just normal.
It's normal for me, so
Yeah,
I
I think it
feel like that's fine.
depends on who you're asking. I think it's pretty normal too.
Yeah. But yes, off to you, Amanda.
Go ahead, Manda.
All right, so I am taking us back to the American Second Great Awakening.
Ooh.
Um, yes, and our main character is Mr. William Miller, who was a Baptist preacher born in Massachusetts and ended up in New York. So William Miller was essentially a self-educated farmer who ended up becoming a soldier during the War of 1812. After he came back, probably deeply
Mhm.
psychologically traumatized, like many soldiers of any era are. He
Mhm.
s- became obsessed with finding just bits of information in the Bible. And so he spent years scouring the pages of the King James Bible for clues to the end of the world. And around 1831, he really thought he found it. So he started to hold these increasingly large public events to spread the word that he had decoded the date of Jesus' return to be somewhere between March of 1843 and March of 1844. And he used this kind of with the formula that, one day in the Bible is 1 year. And he started his date from
What made
what's
him
that?
think that though?
That's just that's just the math.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know. It's a really common Bible math. Like if God says that, it took 7 days, well, it was like, oh, it's 7 years. Not really. You can't take him at his word. Okay, cool. Um, so
What's a day to God?
right, right. It's a year, clearly. So
So
basically his starting go ahead.
Bible math sounds a lot like girl math. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
I don't get it. But anyway, yeah, so the he decided that the countdown started in 457 BC with the decree to rebuild Jerusalem, and then he took the math from Daniel 8:14 that reads, "Unto 2,300 days, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed." So he took that as 2,300 years, Jesus was coming back. So that's the math on that.
Yeah.
And he's spreading that around. He has become a big tent kinda holy roller. He's gotten somewhere between 50 and 100,000 people to start giving away their worldly possessions in advance so that they are ready to be taken up into the kingdom of heaven.
Um,
Um, yeah, because, Jesus is
so
coming back.
this is the rapture mixed in with like
It
the end of the world being okay.
Yes. So Miller's followers were called the Millerites, and people's beliefs were so fervent that there are reports from the newspaper because, of course, the newspaper was like, "What is going on over there?" So it's
Mhm.
picking up some traction in these stories of giving away her house. Another guy gave away a successful blacksmithing business.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, these people were giving away substantial things they truly believed. And when Jesus failed to show up at the appointed time, a peer of Miller's named Samuel Snow revised the math. He's like, "Man, there was no year zero. It just went from 1 BC to 1 AD. So don't worry. It's actually going to be October 22nd, 1844."
I forgot to move a decimal point, guys. I'm so sorry.
Right. Yeah. I was like, "No, man, you're just too early. You're too early." Well, as we know, October 22nd, 1844 came and passed. And when Jesus failed to show up then too, the whole affair was dubbed the Great Disappointment. So, yes. So the story doesn't end there because the Millerites ended up breaking out into different sects of Christianity. They were all of the like Adventist faith.
Mhm.
So that's where you get Church of God. That's where you get the Seventh day Adventists. Were from this sort of doomsday prophecy that never came to fruition because how they managed to fix the situation was they were like, wait a minute, maybe October 22nd, 1844 was the start of the calendar, and we still have another 2,300 years to go.
Okay.
Let's
So
just change the math so it makes more sense, and then it's not on me because it's gonna be in thousands of years.
Yep, they
well,
just
it's less
misunderstood.
now, right?
Only by like 100 and bitty years,
Yeah,
60,
yeah.
70.
We're getting ever closer to the Millerite apocalypse.
Yeah, really interesting though. I because normally you don't see cults on that level, right? You don't
Well, no.
see the widespread getting rid of your stuff. Like you're really getting ready to just get sucked up into space. But yeah, 50 to 100,000 people followed him.
Wow, 150,000. That's
No,
insane.
no, 50 to 100 and
Oh.
50 to 100,000. Not 100. I mean, 150, that's a lot. So it's 100, but yeah.
Yeah.
It was a huge deal.
But still, that's really big, especially for not being a televangelist.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's the crazy thing. If you think about, like, the Second Great Awakening, we get some really like, you get the Methodists in that time period, that sect.
Mhm.
You get the Transcendentalists, David Henry Thoreau and the likes Ralph Waldo Emerson, there we go. And then, yeah, you get the LDS Church comes from that time period,
Right, and
and
Helena Blavatsky and their, Theosophical Society came around that time too.
yeah, it was a huge religious just interest. A lot of Americans had that, so I don't know. Super interesting. But that's all I have for the Millerites.
I want you to know that every time you said Millerites, my brain went, "It's Miller time."
I won't lie, I had the same thought at one point.
Okay, perfect. Also, so this is not the story I'm gonna go with tonight, but do you guys remember, I think it was, like, last year that TikTok just blew up with Doomsday stuff, and
No.
oh, man, I
Well,
wish I
I'm not
wouldn't have
on
No,
done that.
TikTok,
I'm
so
also
That's
not on TikTok.
No, but it hit everywhere. That's just where it started. But it was the same thing that you were just talking about, Amanda. There was a bunch of people modern day who quit their jobs, sold their stuff. They like got their houses ready for other people that weren't going to be raptured. They
wow.
were just yeah, no, and like
Oh, I do remember that actually.
yeah, like last year, and it sounds exactly like what you were talking about, but modern day.
Yeah, I actually think that the US is having some sort of weird fundamentalist revival
Yeah.
right now. You're seeing the rise of the trad wives, you're
Mhm.
seeing the rise of more fundamentalist churches, a
Yeah.
lot more
Mhm.
hellfire and brimstone, a lot more we better subjugate women real quick
Mhm.
before they get out of hand.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's kinda interesting, and I don't know if it's the backlash to a more inclusive society, so they feel like they really have to,
Just whip it
kinda.
back.
Yeah.
Right.
'Cause, I mean, you have the same deal happening. Cause so the Second Great Awakening ended right before the Civil War.
Now, you keep throwing the Second Great Awakening around. Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, so it runs from the end of the 1700s through mid-1800s,
And
and
what was
that's
the
when you start.
first? I'm sorry.
So no, that's fine. The first, I think, had to do with the Puritans. So, because you can't get too much further back. So I'm pretty sure
Mhm.
it was more like the Enlightenment period, the late 1600s to early 17, but before you publish that, let me look that up because I am not 100% sure. I just know it's called the Second Great Awakening.
I was
Okay.
also trying to see what the first Great Awakening was.
I apologize for throwing a monkey wrench into the works.
Um, no, that's fine. Yeah,
First
so
Great
17.
Awakening, yep, 1730 to 1740.
Yeah. So the Second Great Awakening was a lot longer.
Mhm.
Mm.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Second
And is
Great
it just in Christian culture?
Uh, I mean, presumably because that's when you just get a lot of different sects of Christianity breaking off. The Second Great Awakening ran from 1795 to 1835, but you still have the residual of that with the Adventist churches after the Great Disappointment.
I think the first Great Awakening is when they were looking at each other and like, Jebediah, I don't think we need buckles on our hats anymore.
Probably.
So, according to Google AI, the first Great Awakening was a massive religious revival that swept through Britain and the American colonies during the 1730s and 1740s. It shifted focus from formal church rituals to personal emotional connections with God, uniting colonists
Um,
and changing American culture.
that
Oh, that
makes a
makes
lot of
sense.
sense. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
because
was
then you
about
get the
buckles.
whole. Yeah.
It
Well,
boils
no,
down to
because
bubbles.
that would have also set the scene if you think about what happens later in the United States in regards to religion, that would have set the scene with that deeply personal relationship with God as opposed to a more formalized ones that you get with, the Catholic or the Lutheran
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
um so you probably got a lot more of the different Baptist sects at that point because they like the tents and the
Yeah, and it
theatrics.
makes
They
a lot
still
of
do.
sense. Sorry, for the Millerites as well.
Mhm.
Like, that really sets the stage if they're like, "You got a personal relationship," and he's like, "Well, let me do the math on that."
Well, and I mean, that whole era for us was just war after war after war. You have 1776, we become a country, or at least sign we have that war.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then you go into like, we're out there just decimating Native American tribes as we're moving further west.
Mhm.
And then you have the War of 1812.
The
You
Canadians
have,
burned down the White House.
yeah, I mean, Indians.
Canadians.
Oh, Canadians. I was like, did I misunderstand history?
No, 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 it
I
was
mean,
that
good for them if
timeline
they did.
shift. Yeah, you were in the timeline that didn't teach that.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's fine, that's fine. I mean, I don't know everything, I just didn't I thought I would have remembered that. I've been like, "Hell yeah, good job, guys." Oh, did I finish my sentence though about, like, the wars, and so people are kind of trying to find a more deeper meaning with the universe and their place within it?
No.
No, please
Mm,
do.
I finished it, that was it.
Oh.
So the second Great Awakening is the next stage of the personal relationship with God, where the Millerites come in and a bunch of other weirdos. And is there a third? Are we in a new one?
I don't know, I almost wonder if they consider what happened during the '60s and '70s as
Oh,
a
the Jesus
different.
People movement.
Yeah, I'm almost wondering if that is considered one,
It's
so
gotta be, right?
Yeah.
go for it,
Okay,
Sarah.
so speaking of deep personal connections with God, I am gonna take you back to Devonshire, which is in England. I'm gonna talk about a woman who would be the mother of God. Her name
Oh,
Yeah, her name was Joanna Southcott. She was raised in a very religious household. After years of having multiple suitors and failed engagements, she decided, "Hey, real men aren't for me. I am gonna focus all of my attention on God." Once she did this, God started talking to her and giving her all sorts of knowledge about upcoming events.
such as?
We'll get there.
Okay.
Uh, but she and God didn't stop there. In some of her writings, she talks about a very intimate encounter with God,
Hmm.
um, a very biblical, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the Holy Spirit there.
I like that lady who's married to the ghost pirates.
Yes, I love her.
Oh.
Uh, um, so she shared this information with her Bible study group or, the gathering that she partook in, who immediately were like, "Hey, Joanna, I have something to tell you. That's actually Satan's work. Um, I don't know what you're being told, but you need to be careful because that has nothing to do with God and you're being tricked by the devil." Since they didn't want to hear anything about her prophecies, nobody believed her. She's kind of, people thought she was kind of crazy. She started writing down her prophecies and sticking them in a box that I know, right? That would become called the box. Really on the nose there. It said that she predicted the war that would start in 1970. No one believed her until Napoleon came on the scene, and then they were like, "This Joanna chick, she might know something." So, of course, being right was not quite enough for Joanna. She began writing to the Church of England, being like, "Hey guys, I know some stuff.
The
Let me tell you."
CME.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let me tell you some things because I think you really need to know it, and so do your followers. And they never replied to any of her letters. They were like, absolutely not. It's
Mhm.
speculated that this was because the church could not prove that she was correct and actually getting them the visions and information from God, but they also couldn't fully say she was getting them from Satan. So they were like, we don't believe you. We're not even gonna go down this road. You're a little off your rocker here. So in 1801, she decided to pull out all of her writings. She put them in a book and then she took her savings to a publisher and she had this book published.
It's the nice and accurate prophecies of Angus Nutter.
Oh, you're right.
Okay, so her theologies were super radical for the day's standards. She wrote that she wrote that because it was Eve that had tricked Adam, it was a woman's job to bring mankind back to the path of righteousness.
I like her already.
Nice.
Her prophecy started gaining recognition following her correct prediction of Napoleon and multiple years of failed crops.
Wow.
Yeah.
So people are like, "She's onto something."
Yeah, they're like, "Hold on, she might know what she's talking about." So inspired by her writings, some men from London showed up and urged her to come back to London with them so that she could continue spreading her message. One
Sorry, I just thought of a thing. You know how people are like, "I'm sophosexual," or something like that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's deisexual.
There you go. So once in London, she started selling what were called seals of God,
Mm.
which was just paper with her signature on them. Uh,
Okay, can you write what you want on it?
I did not see that, but if you had this seal of God, which was a piece of paper with her signature on it, it was supposed to keep you safe from the threat of the French invasion, as well as
Oh.
as well as guarantee salvation to the person who had the seal.
Oh, so it's an indulgence.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guaranteed.
Yeah, yeah, it was guaranteed. So,
Yeah, if you die, you get your money back.
yeah, that's totally there was a money back guarantee if you died. So, in 1814, things have been quiet for a few years. Joanna
It
wasn't
wouldn't
seeing
be
as
for
many
long. In
What?
1814, we had the war with the French, right?
That's a great question. I'm not good on my history, honestly. But things were quiet for a while from the time that she started selling the seals. She was selling thousands of them, and then it trickled down and trickled down and trickled down. So things got quiet for a while. But in 1814, Joanna was like, "Hey guys, I have something to tell you. I'm actually pregnant with the Messiah." This
Oh.
uh-huh. This was confirmed by multiple doctors. She was a virgin and in her 60s. So it was yeah.
But she had all those gentlemen suitors.
Yes, but she never married.
Oh,
So,
oh, right, 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 right.
yes, yes. She had people that courted her and she was engaged, but she was like, "Hey, you're not for me. I I'm for God." So, she was in her 60s at the time, I believe. She was also still said to still be a virgin, but her pregnancy was confirmed by doctors. So the due date
Mhm.
came and the due date went, no sign of the Messiah's arrival. So,
What happened to the baby?
yeah, people started getting suspicious in, like, the 10th or 11th month of her pregnancy.
Oh, I see.
But, listen, a miracle baby was unprecedented. So how long is a miracle baby pregnancy? It's not a standard pregnancy. Come
Uh-huh.
on. So, after being examined in her later 10, 11, 12 month of pregnancy by another doctor, the doctor's like, "Oh, actually, you're not pregnant. You're really sick and you're gonna die soon."
Oh.
Yeah, so she did in fact die in late 1814.
Uh,
But after she died, they left her body because they were like, "Hey, this woman, the the God's wife, the mother of the Messiah, she's going to come back to life." So for several days they left her body just in case she was going to resurrect. Surprise, surprise, she did not. So they buried her.
Okay.
So her box of prophecies, right? We talked about that in the beginning.
Mhm.
Well, a man named Mr. Sharp took possession of said box and he decided that he was going to continue to spread Joanna's messages. The box was used in two incidences. The first time the box was opened was to convince non-believers of the quote unquote truth. The second time was for the benefit of her followers who were The second time was for the benefit of her followers, which were called Southcottians. We really like to just throw Ians on the end of people's
Yeah.
last name.
Or ites.
Or Ite, yes.
Mm-hmm.
So Joanna had written about upcoming events that would occur after her death. Her followers took this and ran with it. Southcottians said that the unread prophecies in the box must be related to the end of the world. It was predicted that the end of the world. Oh, no, excuse me. She wrote that the end of the world would come 4 years after the turn of the century. However, she
Okay.
wasn't specific about which century she was referring to.
Oh, come on. We
So,
know that it had to be the 19th or the 20th century.
right. So 1914 came and nothing happened. 2004 came and nothing happened. So maybe 2104 is going to be our year, guys.
I'll be dead. It's fine.
I won't. I'll
No,
let you
you're
know.
going to live forever. So
By
that
that
is,
time, they'll have a new GLP out that I'll take.
there you go.
Who's the weirdo who's obsessed with living forever? Brian, that billionaire who's recently cloned himself into a petri dish.
I have no idea what you're
I
talking
don't
about.
know.
Oh my gosh. Never
That
Isn't
mind.
that the
sounds,
one that injects his kid's blood, right?
Yes, that guy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that guy's weird.
yeah, that sounds like he has too much money and time on his hands.
Brian Johnson.
I have no claim on him.
Yeah, he's worth
He's
Wait,
got
like,
one
Brian
lie.
Johnson, the lead singer of AC/DC?
no. This guy, he's definitely aging. Don't worry. If he's
Well,
even
yeah.
still alive, I don't even know. Yeah. No, this guy's like wrecked his own life being obsessed with living for as long as possible. It's weird.
That is weird.
It's gonna get blood cancer.
Sorry,
Yeah.
random segue. Well, you can start getting anaphylaxis from blood donate or transfusions after a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So he's gonna choke to death on his own blood.
On somebody else's
Potentially.
blood.
Well,
Yeah.
somebody else's, yeah. Autologous transfer isn't necessarily dangerous, but getting a bunch of other people's bloods and you eventually your body's like, okay, what the hell is going on here?
it.
This ain't no blood party. We don't party with blood here.
Have some massive swelling. I hope you don't perish.
Good luck. All right. Well, that's all I have for Miss Joanna Southcott and the Southcottians.
That was
Well,
really
that is a
interesting.
beautiful story about an old pregnant woman who died.
Yeah.
Who actually probably had a horrendous uterine cancer of some sort.
The
Almost.
second doctor was just like, "Oh, I don't know who told you you were pregnant, but you're actually dying. That's real unfortunate
You
that they
have a tumor the
misdiagnosed
size of
you.
a basketball in there.
That's
I
not
was
a baby, that's a tumor."
Well, that's all we have time for today. No, that is all we have time for today. But join us next time for something spectacular. Bye.